Hey guys! So I'm going to be reading a story today about a little girl's view of Palm Sunday. So here's the story. It's called Anna and the Donkey. Anna lived in a small village outside the big city of Jerusalem. Anna's father made strong and beautiful pots to sell, and her mother wove colorful blankets and shawls. Sometimes they went into Jerusalem to sell their work, but usually they set up shop by the road that led into the city. There were always people traveling on the road, and business was good. Anna loved to sit out by the road and imagine where all the travelers came from. She had only been in the city once, and never further from her village than the river. Seeing people from exotic places stirred up Anna's imagination and made life exciting. Lately, she had been too busy caring for the new baby donkey to get out to the road. Her parents and big brothers didn't have time to brush it every day or talk softly into its big ears when it got a bit nervous. Anna was the only one who knew about the spot on its nose that needed a delicate scratch sometimes. It was bigger now, and Anna was proud to say it was healthy and gentle due to her loving care. She had been looking forward to seeing the travelers who came to the city for Passover. But then her brother injured his leg falling from their wagon. Now she had to do his chores too, and there was no time for daydreams about faraway places. Anna angrily swept the stable and thought about how unfair things were. The colt and its mother were tied outside the stable while Anna finished cleaning the stall. She was back in the shadows when she saw strangers approach and talk with her father. To her dismay, they untied the donkey and walked away. The colt stayed next to its mother and followed them out to the road. Anna quickly ran and asked her father, "Father, why are those men taking our donkeys?" "The teacher has need of them, Anna. It will be all right," her father explained gently. That was all he would say. Anna didn't understand, and she ran after the men with tears of outrage stinging her eyes. Her brother's chores, and now this. She could just barely keep the colt in sight as they joined the many people in carts on the busy road. The men eventually joined others and offered the donkey to the one who was their teacher. Anna stayed out of sight, but watched what happened next. After the donkey was draped with robes, the teacher rode the donkey toward the city gates while the others walked beside. The colt stayed close to its mother all the way. The teacher seemed gentle and kind to Anna, so she was even more confused about why he had taken her donkey. She overheard someone say, "Some people say he has been blessed by God." Then someone else said, "This man says anyone can know God, even Gentiles and those who have made mistakes and done bad things. He also says that we do not have to go to the temple to know God. Can you believe that? I've heard that the priests are very angry with him." Anna was thinking about why the teacher would go into the city where the priests were angry with him when she noticed the crowds that were getting larger, and many people seemed to be shouting and singing. They were laying palm branches on the road and saying Hosanna. They seemed to be celebrating, but she wasn't sure what or why. She felt her heart beat faster and she almost shouted too, but she didn't want the men to know she was following the colt. She moved along with the crowds through the city gates and fought to stay near the colt. The teacher then stopped and got off the donkey. The people were still calling and waving branches in the air. Anna was surprised to see the teacher look into the donkey's eyes and say something only the beast could have heard. She was even more surprised to see him stroke the little donkey and tenderly scratch the special spot that only Anna knew about. He looked through the crowds in her direction before walking into the city with his friends. Anna quickly ran to the donkey and grabbed the rope. The colt nuzzled her side, grateful to see and smell someone familiar. She was almost hoping the teacher would come back, but she turned her donkeys around and started the long walk home before he could return for the animals. She got home late in the evening, exhausted and hungry. Anna put the donkeys in their stalls and was going to her comfortable bed when the teacher's face came into her mind. Somehow, she knew he wouldn't head for bed when there was work to do. So Anna made sure her brother's chores were all done, and she drew water from the well for her mother. Her heart was happy when she went inside. So, my question is, why do you think someone would write that story? Because I think it might be to give a new perspective, maybe on Palm Sunday, to see it through a little girl's eyes. But also, it didn't really talk a lot about Jesus like the Bible would have done. He was a passing character in it. I mean, he was described as peaceful and caring, but he wasn't the main character of the story, even though should have been, some people think, about him. It was more about everyone else and their reactions to him. So I think the author wrote this story because Jesus walking into Jerusalem and doing everything he did wasn't about him. It was selfless. He wasn't doing it so that people would talk about him. He was doing it so that all of the other people around him could be free and happy. So I think the author wrote this story to show that even though the Bible talks all about Jesus, everything he did wasn't about him. It was about the other people around him. I think maybe we can take some heart from that story and know that truly to feel really good about our lives, we have to help other people instead of just helping ourselves. I mean, have you ever done something above and beyond for your mom or dad or a parent and seen them really happy with you and be able to sit down for a while and relax because they don't have to do something? That makes me really happy. I don't know, doing chores, taking care of animals always makes me happy. Keeping them well and fed and watered. Maybe during Holy Week we can think of how to do things that help others as well as helping ourselves. Please feel free to brainstorm and tell me what you've come up with to make your world a little kinder. For example, I cleaned the bathroom today and helped feed the dogs and cats. My mom also wants me to help her clean out the fridge today. And I think I'll do it because it's something that needs to be done. And it would be a lot harder if only one person had to do it. So I'm going to take the time to be with my mom and have fun cleaning the fridge somehow. So, bye. Have fun with all that.